These items aren't covered by EBT, ma'am. Only the produce and milk.
So what? I can't buy pizza and chips now? That's food. I got kids.
That video is AI. And there are a lot of videos that are exactly like this that are going viral on TikTok right now, and they're all fucking AI. Large creators are stitching these fucking videos, and they are continuing this fucking super damaging trope of black people trying to abuse EBT. My entire family was on food stamps. I was on food stamps. My fucking wife's family was on food stamps. And if you are the kind of person that was on fucking food stamps and you want to take those motherfucking benefits away from other people that were exactly like you in the same fucking situation that you were in, fuck to fucking hell. I am so tired of this cruelty of billionaires brainwashing us using fucking AI to try to fucking kill each other and take food away from people that are just like me. I am so fucking tired of this political climate. It is driving me insane. It's brainwashing you. It's fucking driving me crazy. And I don't know what to do about it. And nobody can tell whether this shit is fucking AI or not. Are we okay with taking food away from people, from families, with children that are struggling? I'm struggling and I'm doing pretty fucking good. That's my crash out. People have been waiting for my legitimate fucking crash out. This is it. These AI videos are going viral and there's fucking thousands of people. Read the fucking comment. This shit is fucking disheartening. I'm so disappointed in everybody. You know, nobody told me as a political content creator that I was just gonna see the shittiness of people over and over and over again. We're getting fucked. Everybody is.
I'm sorry to break it to you, James, but EBT is for people who are struggling, but also people who are lazy and do not want to work, like me. That's what it's there for. That's why I have so many kids, so like that I don't ever have to work again. I had kids for this reason, for me to use money from the government and not have to wake up early to go to work. EBT doesn't discriminate. It's there to be used for the lazy people and the hard workers too. On top of that, I get EBT, I get cash assistance, I get child support. So I'm living my best life right now. Meanwhile, you guys are waking up early, having to go to work, and I'm just lounging around, you know, getting money from the government without having to lift a finger. And it's honestly the best job I've ever had. So with that being said, I'll continue to have kids for as long as I can so I could continue getting money from the government. And once again, thanks to you taxpayers, because you guys work so hard so you could fund my lazy lifestyle. Thank you.
So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month.
About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're gonna do without that food stamp money, because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, Africans. I hope you're faring well where you are, and if you ain't faring well, please fare well where you are. There is an African proverb that says, when the branch of a tree starts to rot, or when it starts to decay, it normally spreads that disease to to those other healthy branches. And in entirety, the whole tree will eventually decay, rot, and collapse, right? That situation is likened to a very, very important happening that is happening in the USA, right? I know you guys have heard about the electronic benefit transfer, EBT. Is a special card that the American government established an initiative whereby those people who are underprivileged, those people who don't have jobs, the handicapped people can help themselves, can get food, they can be able to pay their rents and survive, right? So it turns out that some people have been abusing this system that was there to help them, right? That is according to Trump. People are abusing this system. And now, Donald Trump has commanded that if you want to use this EBT, you must work for at least 30 hours in a week for you to qualify for the EBT, right? So the withdrawal, or rather this amendment, which is there to remove the electronic benefit transfer, has sparked, or rather it has sparked a negative reaction from many, many Americans. Also, as it is always natural, you always have people who are always on the other side. You have people who have also reacted positively. So I want us to listen to them. I shall get back by the end of the video, of course, where we shall also have a deep, critical analysis. And let's dive in.
Did you know that 45 million people, 1 out of every 8 Americans, receive food benefits? And when researchers looked at how that money was being spent, they found that the average SNAP household, gets this, buys more soda, candy, desserts, and junk food than the average household that actually pays for their own groceries. I mean, think about that for a second. The people paying for the program are stretching their own budgets, buying store brand and necessities, while the system is allowing people to buy Oreos, chips, energy drinks, and protein tubs on taxpayers' dime. And the justification that's being used here to defend this is absolutely wild. You've got politicians saying, well, for every $1 spent on SNAP creates $1.80 in economic activity. Well, okay, but that doesn't mean it creates value. If I hand you $1 and then you hand that dollar to somebody else, we didn't magically make more money. We just moved the dollar around. That's not economic growth. That's just circulation. And if that logic worked, we could simply put the entire U.S. budget into food stamps and boom, instant prosperity, baby. Obviously, that's not how reality works, and they're just lying to all of us. Meanwhile, there's widespread fraud that everyone knows is happening. Flipping benefits for cash, buying items to resell, or in some cases, what's happening is they're shipping U.S. groceries overseas. I'm not even kidding about this. This is real. To sell them at a profit. Grocery clerks know it, store managers know it, state agencies know it, and nobody is stopping it because too many corporations and political interests are benefiting from the program continuing exactly as it is. How many of you knew that? Let me know in the comment section because this is wild. And here's the real point. If a program is supposed to exist to feed people who need help, then it should do exactly that. It should cover actual staples. It should be temporary. It should require, I don't know, some sort of accountability. And it should have limits. Because when a system is this easy to abuse, it will be abused. And the people who end up paying the price are the same taxpayers who are already being crushed by inflation every time they go to the grocery store. So the question isn't, should we help people in need? The question is, why are we funding a program that's become this inefficient, this unmonitored, and this upside down? If we care about helping people, then the system needs to be fixed, not blindly defended. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Appreciate you.
A lot of people that are posting videos about losing their EBT or SNAP benefits are trying to get everybody else to feel bad. But honestly, all you guys are doing is just demonstrating why we need cuts to these programs, why we need work requirements or community service requirements to receive them, and how many people are really abusing the system.
Truth is, y'all hating on me because I live rent-free and I can afford the luxuries that y'all dream about for me and my kids. I'm going to continue to buy my luxury bags while the government pay my rent. I'm going to continue to go on trips and do the things that me and my kids love to do while y'all struggle to pay for a grocery bill and I'm swiping my EBT card.
My food stamps went from 4,400 in food stamps every month to $38. What am I supposed to get with $38 with 6 kids?
They told me in order to keep my food stamps, I would have to do 15 hours of community service per week. That's at minimum. I can do more if I want to, which I probably will because I don't have anything else going on. And my kids are in daycare since I qualified for subsidized childcare. But anyways, this is just until I get an actual full-time job.
I mean, this is what it's about. Give this woman a sense of purpose. 12 years? 12 years on services. Now they're requiring you to do something. Community service is the best way to get started. And then find yourself a job so you don't have to be reliant on the government. She understood the assignment. Make sure to follow and share if you agree this is what needed to be done a long time ago.
Stop talking about people who receive government assistance. If you are wealthy and you don't have to qualify for government assistance to get by, to make ends meet each month, you shouldn't have anything to say about the people who need that in order to get by. The only thing you should be agreeing with is that the billionaires are hoarding all the wealth and that we don't make enough money. That's the only thing that should be said, is we don't get paid enough. It shouldn't be, oh, you shouldn't be buying this with your food stamp card or EBT card, or, oh, you're on EBT and I bet you're an EBT recipient. Yeah, with the full-time job. That's the part you're failing to realize. And I still qualify for government assistance because we don't make enough money. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I'm trying to scheme the rich. Y'all don't even pay, the rich don't pay any more taxes than poor people do.
I don't want to see nobody on here complaining about food stamps that was posting beach pictures and new tattoos all summer, okay? Thank you.
We're about to witness the largest chimp out in history because EBT and SNAP benefits are going down. The reason why this is up until November is because there's a backup reservoir, but with the government staying shut down and the Democrats clearly not looking like they want to open it anytime soon, people are losing their minds. I mean, look at this.
Baby, when they run up in there and start stealing them turkeys, if y'all got this motherfucker update, it's time to go loop.
They saying I gotta work 20 hours a week. I'm not working for nobody. Get the out of here. This is what Americans, taxpayer, work for us. They work for me. They gotta help me feed my kids. Get out of here.
My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Counterpoint, how about no? EBT and food stamps should be used for people who actually need them, to buy things that they actually need, like cheap bread, fruit, meat, veggies, cheese, etc. Not junk food, not weaves, not acrylic nails. If you want to buy those things, you can get up off the couch, stop being a burden on society, and get a job, rather than relying on me, the taxpayer, to supplement your income. How can we coexist with a group of people that are violent the second they stop getting free things? I'm just...
So the people who are getting kicked off of EBT or severely cut, but there are no jobs, but the government's like, if you want to eat, you have to have a job. What's the workaround? How does that going to work?
Now, I get that the entire point of this video was to blame Trump and act like a victim, like he's taking away food from everybody and that there's absolutely nothing that anybody can do about it. But while you were spin up in your feelings, I went ahead and dug into the real numbers. So let's talk about those. As of August of this year, there were 7.2 million job openings in the United States. In order to receive EBT, you have to work a minimum of 80 hours a month. That's about 20 hours a week. That is a part-time job. So of those 7.4 million job openings that we talked about, there are 5.4 million of them that meet that criteria. Then if we hop over and take a look at the EBT numbers to see how many of them are receiving EBT who are able-bodied and can work, there are 4.7 million of them. So we have 5.4 million job openings and 4.7 million people that need jobs. That is a 1.1 to 1 ratio. It's not that there are no jobs available, it's that the jobs available are not the jobs that they want. When you are in a situation where you have to go ask people for help to pay your bills, you don't get to be picky. But at some point, y'all have to join the rest of the real world and realize that you have to do something for you and that not everything is handed to you in life. No one owes you a damn thing in life. You want something, you work for it. You want to go buy a bunch of Coke, snacks, and junk food, then you go do that with the money that you earn at your job like the rest of us. Not quite sure why this is such a hard concept for some of y'all to grab. This was fun. Have a day.
I am a disabled American in the United States who depends upon EBT to help me feed my family, and I reside in a state that is, our EBT is 100% funded by the federal government. Our state has sent out notification to us to expect delays, if not receiving any funds at all. It is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, and as of this date, the state that we reside in, which is Michigan, has not announced any plans or intentions to fill the gap that will be there, which means that no one will get any food assistance money for the month of November in this state. That includes disabled individuals. That includes children and the elderly. So, with this on my mind, and I never wanted to ask anybody for anything, and no, I'm not asking for anybody to send me money to go to the grocery store with, because we're okay at the moment. But I have the means to hunt. I just don't have my hunting license or tags. So, if there is anyone that would be so kind, email is in bio. I'm asking if anyone would please donate, even if it's $5, so that I can get my hunting license, which is $11, my small game license, which is another $11, and then tags. Tags are usually $20 per, because I am going to go deer hunting. An antlerless deer and deer with antlers are $20 no matter the tag. I just want to ensure that we don't necessarily have to depend on the grocery store to fill our fridge and freezer. I already have plans for any extra food that we wind up happening going back into the community. I live in a neighborhood where there are children and there are elderly, and I want to make sure that they eat too. I also recently got a donation of 10 pounds of flour so that I can feed my sourdough starters and become the neighborhood bakery, because the need is going to arise. I'm not just asking for me and my family. I'm asking so that I can help others. So please, could you help me help others if you want to and you are able? Again, the email is in our bio. And thank you.
EBT moms, what are we doing if we don't get EBT in November? Just wondering, because I don't get that much to begin with, but like my family thrives off that. We need that. Like, that's how we get our big bulk dinner items. So, just wondering, what am I supposed to do?
28-year-old mother of 9 who bragged about spending thousands of dollars a month on her EBT card just had her benefits terminated. This means taxpayers are off the hook, as this woman will no longer have her 12 kids, she's pregnant with triplets, 100% supported by taxpayer-funded food stamps. That's because President Donald Trump is putting an end to abuse and fraud in federal assistance programs. Trump says he is saving taxpayers from paying for endless dependency and is bringing accountability to the programs. The woman gained popularity online by posting videos of herself shopping at Sam's and Costco, flaunting massive grocery hauls paid for with food stamps. However, the Trump administration is ramping up audits and eligibility checks and putting an end to these types of situations. The woman is now complaining that her EBT benefits have been terminated, forcing her to prepare quote-unquote meager meals for her large family, like small portions of eggs, waffles, and sausage on 9 plates, a big difference from her previous extravagant shopping sprees. Last month, the woman, who refers to herself as Girl Quake, went viral with a cooking video where she prepared a large breakfast, including buttermilk waffles, French toast, sticks, blueberry waffles, and Roger Wood sausages, all purchased with her EBT card. Earlier that month, she showcased a grocery haul of more than $1,000 paid entirely on EBT, including multiple packs of snacks, meats, and produce, bragging that everything is free. Trump's reforms, SNAP verification, and fraud detection measures have already identified thousands of ineligible.
I'm so glad that the people who get EBT now have to work at least 30 hours to still be eligible to get it. It was thousands of people who's receiving EBT, like $800 a month, working 0 hours a whole week. They don't even got a part-time job, but they're receiving all these damn benefits. And then there's people who's working 40 plus hours who have to pay their rent, have to pay for everything, they bills, and have no money left over for groceries. And then when we apply, they say, oh, we make too much. Please, if I make too much, I would not be asking for assistance. Trust and believe. But now those same people who be getting EBT are crying and sad on social media because now they have to work. Y'all thought y'all was gonna get free shit forever? No. And I'm so glad that Trump is changing that shit because it is not fair to us tax-paying people. Y'all taking our money from our paychecks every single week, bi-weekly, whatever it is, and then giving it to people who have babies on purpose so they can get on welfare. Like not go to work so they can qualify for free food, for free housing, for night child. How is that shit even fair? They really be cheating the system and we be allowing that shit. After people pay mortgage, after people pay rent, after people pay their bills, they don't got no money left over to splurge. What is splurging? We don't even know what that is anymore. But y'all want to sit there and live lavish, but now when y'all have to work, y'all want to sit and complain. No, get up and go to work, just like how the rest of us do. It's about time the qualifications change on this because y'all need to work, seriously.
If you are naive enough to think that the pause to SNAP benefits on November 1st isn't going to affect you because you don't receive food stamps, I want you to hear this. About 1 in 8 Americans receive SNAP benefits. In fact, in Oklahoma, where I live, that's 1 in 6 people. So about 600,000 people in my state alone, Oklahoma, receive SNAP benefits. About 1 in 4 children in the U.S. receive SNAP benefits. But you're not one of those people, so you don't care, but hang with me. When those benefits go away, just about $9 billion in grocery spending vanishes. So you've got to be thinking about not just the grocery stores being able to stay open and pay their employees, but you have to think about the entire supply chain, trucks on the road, people who provide food to these grocery stores. $9 billion. Every dollar spent in SNAP benefits adds about $1.50 to $1.80 to the economy. So cutting those benefits isn't saving that dollar, it's taking away that $1.50 to your local economy. But you don't receive SNAP benefits, you don't work for a grocery store, you don't drive a truck, you don't give a shit. But when all of those things happen, the only way to combat that is to drastically increase the price of groceries. Grocery prices are already up over 3% in 2025 alone, which is almost an entire percentage higher than the average increase in grocery prices over the last 20 years. I thought they were supposed to go down day one though. So even if SNAP benefits only pause for 1 month, which by the way would be detrimental to all the people I mentioned before that you don't give a shit about, it will cost the economy roughly $13 to $14 billion in profit. And you can expect your grocery prices in just that 1 month to go up at least 1%. And states will stand to lose about $300 to $500 million in sales tax revenue. So even if you do not receive SNAP benefits, you never have, you never will, you do not want these to be paused on November 1st.
I'm literally not asking for help. I'm literally not asking for a job. I just want my benefits back. I don't feel the need to pay for food. I have food stamps since 2016. Yes, taxpayers. So, you trying to take it away now? I don't think so.
So, after watching this video, here's my deep critical analysis. In the USA, the electronic benefit transfer card system serves as a lifeline for millions of households through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's called SNAP, right? So this system allows eligible low-income individuals and families to purchase food and groceries, right? Yet, pressures on this system from funding shortfalls, proposed policy cuts, government shutdowns, and fraud vulnerabilities are mounting. Now, these pressures have threatened to undermine the food security of vulnerable population and may have severe consequences for our very own black people, these people have already been facing disproportionate economic and social burden in the United States of America. So I want us to have also a background to this EBT and the SNAP thing. So the EBT card is essentially a prepaid debit card issued by state agencies to distribute benefits under SNAP for food, and sometimes cash assistance programs. So under this SNAP, remember SNAP means supplements of nutrition and nutrition assistance, supplement nutrition assistance program, that's SNAP, right? So these SNAP and EBT were established under the federal government to provide funds to aid low-income households to purchase approved food items. You know, this card is used at groceries, it's used in particular markets, particular ATMs, right? So the system is also technical. It's efficient compared to other food stamp models, but it remains vulnerable to administrative, budgetary, and fraud-related risks, right? So just like any other program might face a risk, this one also has faced a risk, and it has faced some challenges, right? So as of late 2025, reports indicate that if the federal government shutdown continues, monthly SNAP benefits may not be disbursed to millions. A good example is November benefits are at risk for some states unless federal funding is restored. They are not trivial. The average benefit per person is quite small. You see, USDA means United States of America Development. So the data from USDA shows that less than $6 per person is paid per individual. So they pay $6 per individual, right? That is in some cases. So we also have proposed cuts and alteration to program structures. You know, there are legislative proposals to reduce funding, tighten eligibility, convert these SNAP into block grants, or limit periodic cost of living adjustment. These changes would reduce the size or reach to the benefit, potentially increasing food security. And the third one is fraud and misuse vulnerabilities. The EBT system is also vulnerable to fraud, including card cloning, skimming, and misuse of benefits. One report estimates that fraud costs the system billions each year. So this fraud also undermines public trust. It also may prompt stricter oversight and can lead to disruptions to legitimate recipients. And the fourth one will be effective questions and uneven impacts. Some recent academic work suggests that SNAP, though widely used, may have limited impact for the lowest income households or those in most extreme food insecure situations. For example, one study found no significant effort on food security for some of the poorest households. While the findings are complex, they underscore that for many households, the benefit may still be insufficient and that reduction will hit very hard, right? So what are the repercussions to Black Americans if these EBT and SNAP are cut out from the system? What are the repercussions? You know, the first repercussion is this: high rates of program participation and food security. Historically, Black households are overrepresented among low-income groups. Households relying on public assistance and those experiencing food insecurity, right? Cuts or disruptions in SNAP will therefore disproportionately affect Black Americans. For instance, food costs are rising and income have stagnated in many public communities. The loss of even modest benefits can push households into deeper hardships. The second one is health and nutrition impacts. Food insecurity links directly to poor health outcomes, chronic disease, mental health issues, and reduced educational outcomes for children. If Black households lose SNAP benefits, the health disparity already experienced may widen. A good example is this: when benefits are delayed, or they are cut, families may reduce nutritious foods, for example, fresh produce and lean protein, in favor of cheap, less healthy options. That dynamic is likely to exacerbate existing health inequalities, right? So SNAP benefits also act as a stabilizer. They free up scarce households, they free up scarce household resources so that money can go to other essentials, right? When those who benefit shrink or disappear, black households have less cushion, fewer assets, and a weaker generational wealth. So the ripple effects are stronger. A food shortfall can force trade-offs, skip healthcare, defer car repairs, sacrifice savings. Over time, this erodes economic resilience. That's it. That's it. Also, when the SNAP benefits act as a stabilizer, they free up scarce household resources so that money can go to other essentials, right? When those benefits shrink or disappear, black households often have less cushion, fewer assets, and a weak generational wealth. So the ripple effects are stronger. A food shortfall can force trade-offs, skip healthcare, defer car repairs. I think I already said this, sorry about it. So what are the potential scenarios and outcomes? Scenario, when the revenue is cut, these SNAP and EBT is cut, we can have something such as a short-term benefit disruption. If SNAP payments are missed or delayed, right, for 1 or 2 months, many households will face immediate food shortages, increased reliance on food banks, or increased borrowing, right? So for black people, this already operates at thin margins. Already, this can lead to housing instability, missed medical care, or increased debt, right? So this is a thing which can have a very serious repercussion if you take a closer look at it, right? So there can also come out, something can also come about, which is structural reduction in benefit amounts or eligibility. See, if legislation reduces the size or eligibility of benefits, then longer-term issues arise. Sustained food insecurity, nutritional deficits for children, right? Which these can impair school performance for the black kids. Also, we have increased health cost. You see, greater strain or community institutions, which are often present in black communities over years. This could widen the racial gap in health, education, and economic outcomes. Now, there is more and more to learn from these EBT and SNAP if they are pulled out, right? So the EBT and the SNAP system plays a crucial role in mitigating hunger and stabilizing low-income households in the USA. But current threats are the funding disruptions, the program cuts, and the administrative burdens, together with the fraud vulnerabilities, pose various risks and very, very serious risk as well. So for black Americans who are already disproportionately affected by poverty, food insecurity, health disparities, and structural economic advantages, these risks are particularly alarming. It's like adding salt to the wound. You see, a disruption or reduction in benefit is not just a food issue. It reverberates through health, education, housing, employment, and generational opportunity. In summary, safeguarding the integrity and the adequacy of the EBT system is not only a matter of social warfare, but of racial equity. If society allows this safety net to fray, the consequences will fall hardest on those who already carry the greatest burden, and that includes many black Americans. Ensuring robust food assistance is thus an essential piece of advancing equity and justice in the United States of America. Yes. So that is my thought. That is my thought, my research. I did my research to know about SNAP, EBT, and why is it being pulled out, right? And how it will affect our black brothers and sisters. Yeah. I hope that you've learned anything from the video. If you have, be sure to subscribe. I really appreciate. And see you in the next one. Stay positive. Support me on Patreon. You can donate something small on Patreon. Thank you. See you in the next one.